Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Ravindra Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust, I welcome you all to today's 91st Sunday webinar. We are happy that the RPRIT, as the cutting edge research institute, is offering some important course named as Mental Health Infographics. Mental Health Infographics is an important tool for understanding and promoting psychological well-being of the people. Before the discussion, I am requesting all, please close your hands for the inauguration prayer. Om Shahana Bhavatu Shahano Bhunaktu Shahobiryam Karvabhai Tejashinavati Tamastu Ma Vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, I am requesting our program coordinator, Farah Ahmed, to say few words about the Ravindra Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust, and if necessary, she can present the PowerPoint.
Good morning, teachers. Good morning, Vidhi. So, welcome everyone to our webinar. My name is Farah and I am the program coordinator of the Ravindra Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust. We have started this course, Mental Health Infographic, with the objective to present the information in a visual, appealing, and easy to understand manner, which can help reduce stigma, increase awareness, and understanding of mental health. On this note, I would like to present my slide presentation on our institute. Let me share my screen.
Should I stop sharing now?
Yeah, Vidhi, yes. Okay, you have to stop sharing the screen. There is one red color, button. Yeah, got it? Okay, yeah. So Rabindranath Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust was established on 1 July 2018. RPRIT carry out research in academic field and to promote the study and dissemination of knowledge of Rabindranath psychotherapy based. Research-based teaching is the philosophy of Rabindranath Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust. RPRIT created syllabus on the basis of students' need. RPRIT functioning as pan-India. Indians from different parts of the country join RPRIT courses every year. Institute offers some general courses like school psychology, applied psychometrics, forensic psychology, Rabindranath psychotherapy, environmental psychology, business psychology. The course includes some elective courses like research methodology, statistics with a statistical software, performing art therapy, story therapy, drawing therapy, dance therapy, drama therapy, as and when required. For much exposure on psychological testing, Institute negotiates with other organizations. The Academic Council of Rabindranath Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust plays important role in academic activities and research. The council is comprised of chairman, secretary, and members having more than 10 years teaching and administrative experiences. Dr. Datta Roy is a president of RPRIT. Ms. Sudipta Majumdar is a secretary and treasurer. Dr. Rama Manna is academic coordinator. Dr. Subrata Basak is member. Dr. Situngsha Khatao is member. Members are Dr. Datta Roy, who is a chairperson of RPRIT. Dr. Ritupurna Basak is a secretary of RPRIT. Dr. Subir Nag is a member. Dr. Paritrita Biswas is a member. Dr. Sushmita Mukhopadhyay is a member. Dr. Ishita Chatterjee is a member. Academic achievement of RPRIT 2022. In this year, RPRIT has successfully completed a few skills development courses like school psychology, applied psychometrics, forensic psychology, questionnaire construction, telemental health counseling. In this year, RPRIT has offered some short courses like music therapy, Rabindra's psychotherapy, SPSS-based data analysis, RScript-based data analysis. RPRIT offered business data analysis with ABBS Bangalore, principal component analysis with Indian Institute of Psychology. RPRIT MOU with National Forensic Sciences University in order to develop mutual exchange of research on forensic psychology. RPRIT provided consultancy to one microfinance organization, Arohan, in construction of psychological tests for selection of customer service representatives. This year we have, we started creating newsletters this year that highlighted some of the great projects happening at our institute. The newsletter we publish every month is our main way of informing others about what is going on in the world of research. It includes teachers and students' contribution also. Our January newsletter highlighted Rabindra's psychotherapy and applied psychometric course. It also highlighted some of the awards that we received. In February, this is our February 2023 newsletter, which highlighted quantum consciousness in Rabindra's psychotherapy. It also highlighted the course status that are happening at the institute. This is our March newsletter, which highlighted quantum consciousness in language acquisition, some of the awards that our institute received, course status that are running in our institute presently, checklist for abstract writing for publication in journal and community development. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Sir, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Farah. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Professor Rajendra Parijat. Professor Rajendra Parijat is professor of Chhatrapati Shahu Institute of Business Education and Research, University, Kolhapur, Maharashtra, India. Professor Rajendra Joshi, actually maybe his full name, Professor Rajendra Joshi. He attended several programs of the RPRIT during the pandemic time. He also invited me to give one lecture on mental health infographics in his university. He is fond of Rabindra Sangeet, and he tried to relate the spiritual values in the business. So we are very much fortunate that he accepted my invitation to chair the session. Now it is over to Professor Rajendra Parijat. Sir, please.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Roy. And thank you, audience. I have done 5 courses with RPRIT during pandemic, all full of bliss, knowledge.
Sir, is it possible to open your video so that people can see you? Yeah. Thank you, sir.
I have attended 5 different courses. There's a lot of sound disturbance, so I had to close everything. Okay.
Okay.
I've
okay.
attended 5 certificate courses with RPRIT during pandemic. And it's a great pleasure to be with Dr. Roy all the time, because I have seen the only statistician who sings. That is my experience. So I'm very happy. And today I'm even privileged because he has offered me to chair the session, because I'm working on something which he had suggested to me. And true, the first shock of pandemic I could literally remove from Rabindra Sangeet suggestions which he has given. But then when I started to transliterate it to my audiences or Marathi language thing, it is a very difficult task. Sir had asked me to give proposals also, but I could not make it out because of my job and other responsibilities. But I'm very sure that RPRIT is music therapy, and especially Rabindra Sangeet is the only way out for a possible, you can say, change in the life cycle without any hurdles to accept the challenges post-pandemic. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Today we have Vidhi Khanna. So I'm requesting Farah, please to introduce Madam Vidhi Khanna.
So Vidhi is a student of our mental health infographic course. She has done MPhil in clinical psychology. She's working presently in Uttar Pradesh. Vidhi, can you please tell something about yourself? Hello, Vidhi, are you there?
Hello, Vidhi.
Hello.
Yes, please do introduce yourself. After that, you will present.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Vidhi Khanna. My highest education is MPhil in clinical psychology from GMCH Chandigarh. I'm currently working under District Mental Health Program in Uttar Pradesh and posted in District Sonbhadra as a clinical psychologist. So as a part of this RPIT course, today I've got honored to present a presentation on Ravindric values. So I'd like to go ahead with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidhi. We are waiting for your presentation.
Can we start?
Yeah.
One.
Make it full
Yes.
view. I think that is better.
Vidhi, click on that. Yeah, screen, full PowerPoint, full screen PowerPoint. Yeah. Near your Khanna Vidhi 2008 Gmail, there are some icons, cross icon, near the cross icon. Yeah, near the, above. Yeah. Next, one more. Next, no, next to this. Yeah.
Just below the slide, right?
Yeah,
right down.
Let's share.
Next to this. Yeah. Yeah, next to this. Near cross. Yeah, this one. Yeah, click. Okay, this one is getting short. Okay. Then there is down also. One more plus. Okay, then there are some icons.
At the right bottom, there is a show icon, screen icon. Just below the slide. Yes, near that a magnifier. Just left to that. Yes, you're right. Come left. You have to press the screen. You are using magnifier.
Yes, sir.
You use that. Click on that screen, so it will be full screen.
Right.
Yeah, this one. Yes, click. Yes. Go ahead.
So today's topic is values and Rabindric value system. So I welcome you all, our chairperson sir, and even Datta Roy sir, and all who are watching this online. So starting with it. So first of all, what are values? Values are guiding principle in life. Their expression of words, likes or dislikes concerning things, person or principles, etc. It is hierarchical in nature. That's why it is known as a value system. When values are considered in hierarchy based on the preference, it converts into a value system. According to Husted, it is influenced by individuals' knowledge, skill, and work experiences and cultural environments. Even the gender plays a beautiful role in determining the value preferences, such as in females, it is found that cleanliness is most preferred value compared to the men's. It is an enduring belief that a specific mode of conduct or end state of existence is personally or socially preferable, as per the Rocket, 1973. So characteristics of values as per the Rocket. So human values have cognitive aspect, the behavioral and the affective aspect. Not all values determines the behavior, but the preference of the value and the hierarchy of the values we create determines which behavior will be influenced by the values. Yeah, Rakesh developed Rakesh Values Survey and suggested 36 values, of which 18 are instrumental and 18 are the terminal values. So instrumental values are those which means of achieving the terminal values, and whereas the terminal values are desirable end state of existence. These terminal values are goals that a person would like to achieve. These are the values which were given by the Rocket. Like instrumental values are the intellectual, capable, honest, responsible, imaginative, independent, broad-minded, logical, ambitious, helpful, courageous, self-controlled, loving, forgiving, cheerful, polite, clean, and obedient. And the end states are the wisdom, freedom, self-respect, a sense of accomplishment, a world of peace, equality, a world of beauty, inner harmony, family security, social recognition, happiness, an exciting life, a comparable life, true friendship, mature love, national security, pleasure, and salvation. According to Schwartz, 1994, values are desirable trans-situational goals, varying in importance, that serve as guiding principle in the life of a person or other social entity. According to Schwartz, the characteristics of values are they serve the interest of some social entity, motivate action, they function as standards for judging and justifying actions. They acquired both through socialization to dominant group values and through the unique learning experiences of the individuals. This is the system proposed by the Schwartz. Now coming to the Rabindric values. So what? So Rabindric values, Datta Roy and Bandyopadhyay 2010 extracted 14 path and 14 goal-oriented values from Rabindra Sangeet. These values are based on the Sankocha Biwalata song, and this song was written between the 16th and 19th December in 1929. It was successfully presented at Shantiniketan as a part of Dol Purnima celebration in 1930. This song.
Rabindranath Tagore.
Hello.
By Rabindranath Tagore.
Yes, sir, by Rabindranath Tagore. So
Yeah.
on these songs, various values were developed, and like various values were extracted from these songs, such as fearlessness and multiple. So the such as mentioned, like the 14 path and goal-oriented values, which were based on this song. So I would like to discuss these values in details. So path-oriented values. So coming to each value one by one. So self-awakening, it is a perception of self as stable and positive. Then emotional control, controlling one's unwanted emotions or emotional modulation. Then systematic, ordered, planned step, regular monitoring and evaluating one's performance. Non-self-insulting, prevents self from self-humiliation and curse. Fearless, feeling of overcoming fear. Cleanliness, positive forces makes a consciousness free from dirt, contamination, negative emotions. Work-family compatibility, maintaining balance between family and work demand. Niskam principle, working without expectations of reward. Challenging, prefer adventure and challenging tasks in order to test their courage. Self-understanding, feedback to self about own success and failure. Doubtless, confidence and certainty in belief. Free from fear of failure, freedom from anticipated fear. Resolute, determined in purpose and action. Active, constantly engaged in action, energetic, diligent, and busy. Now, coming to goal-oriented values, peace, state of tranquility, quiet, harmony, free from external as well as internal disturbances. Universalization, thinking for everyone. Enlightenment, finding of reasons for any question. Positive feeling, believing in oneself and hoping for positive outcomes in spite of situational obstacles. Family security, providing a safe and secured environment to loved ones. Sense of accomplishment, feeling of satisfaction and contentment resulting from fulfilling one's wishes and desires. Pleasure, having an enjoyable life free from obstacles and adversities. Inner harmony, state of lack of inner conflict. Self-respect, of harm or destruction. Self-employment, generating employment for oneself. Security, state of being free from any sort of danger or threat. Significance in life, finding meaning in life. Altruism, a state of unselfish regard for others that is prioritizing the good of others above oneself. Now, like I administered the Rabindra value questionnaire, and these are the value preferences. One refers the most preferred value for me, and the 14 with the least value preferred. So like these are the path-oriented values and goal-oriented values, such as like for me, the systematic path-oriented is the most preferable value for myself, as I prefer to work in a determined way and like to order things and like to plan things. It helps in creating an inner harmony for me, that is a goal oriented. So basically it reduces the inner conflict, because when I have determined what I need to do and what's of my future plan, it helps in regulating the my peace. Next, the path oriented value is my emotional control. So basically, I try to modulate my emotions and control the negative emotions. Even as part of my profession, it plays an important role, such as like when I'm with patient. So emotional control is a very important thing I feel in that context. And even as a person, I tried, and it's a very preferable thing for me. Then it on emotional control, it leads to a peace, and peace value is important, and it gives a preference for it. Then a third preferable value in path oriented is no work family conflict. I like to, or I prefer to balance my work and family, and try there is less conflict between it, which like Then in goal oriented, it's like my third most preferable is family security. It's not only about financial security, but also about the emotional security, because family is the utmost important part of anyone's life, and preferably it's very important for me as well. Then like if I discuss like four most preferable, then cleanliness is a very important value even, like such as like cleanliness help me decluttering the things, as like whenever I'm stressed or not feeling good, I just try to declutter and clean my surrounding, so it even helps me in inner peace, in inner harmony and peace. So that's the link like I could generate for myself from this question after administering this questionnaire. So can I move to next slide?
Yes, you can move.
So now would like to discuss a research paper. So it is a Rabindra Valley Orientation of Our Returned Senior Rank Police Officers research paper done by D. Datta Roy sir. So like as in further slides, we would like to discuss the values or value system of police officers and would like to compare it with the general population of common people. So the extract extracted from this paper was such as policing is a value-driven noble profession. Functions of police are to protect people and property of the nation. There is limited empirical evidence focusing on value orientation of police. Therefore, there is a gap. There is a gap to understand how far police values are in conformity with values of common people. This study has two objectives: to determine value hierarchy of police officers. Second, to determine extent of profile similarity between value orientation of police and the common people. For this, data was collected from 18 war returned senior rank police officers through Rabindra value scale. The scale measures orientation to path and goal values. So the results highlighted, results reveal value hierarchy. Value hierarchy of police officers. Police officers preferred self-understanding, cleanliness, active, self-awakening, and no work-family conflicts. These were the path-oriented values which were preferred by the police officers. With respect to goal-oriented values, they preferred more family security, self-respect, positive feeling, inner harmony, and peace. When compared with comparison group, results show higher similarity in path-oriented values than goal-oriented values, suggesting unique development of human values in the police officers. So now would like to discuss the coding part and even like what was the distribution of path-oriented values for the policemen.
Please you explain the coding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So basically, the values and the mean values are extracted from the research paper. So whatever coding we are we will discuss further are based on the research paper we just summarized. So first of all, like first coding is the police equal to C and the brackets containing some values. So police is the vector here, and then the values are the mean values which are presented in the paper, which was obtained on after applying the Rabindra values scale. Then next coding is police, which means we are storing this these values into the R studio, and then the values which were stored are placed. Then next coding is about the path-oriented values, as we will be focusing first on the path-oriented values and would like to see this how these values are scattered or what plot can be obtained from it. So in path-oriented values, mentioning it as a vector, then mentioning all the path-oriented values such as self-awakening, emotional control, systematic, all values on which we would like to have a particular score and would like to assess it. Then next coding is for the comparable group. As we have even included the comparable group, so the values for it was also coded. Then next vector, comparable group, and the values are stored. Then data was framed as there were path-oriented values and two groups were created. So data framing was done. So value 1 is the new vector for which, and the data framing. The first for data framing, the path-oriented values were written. Then police as a police values were mean values were coded. Then it includes the comparable group mean values. Then then next coding is the value 1, which is a new vector which we created after the data framing. For data framing, then it gives the basically list of all path oriented values. Then each for each value, the mean scores are given for police and the comparable groups. After after framing the data, we plotted an index plot. So this is the index plot which you could see on your right side. So index plot is basically horizontal axis, so shows the different path oriented values such as 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 corresponds to self-awakening, 2 corresponds to emotional control, 3 corresponds to systematic. So in such a way it shows. So the coding for index plot is plot, then bracket value 1 dollar police, as we are using value 1 as vector and police. Then ylab means we are representing the y-axis, which represent the mean. Then main coding goes for the heading we would like to give our plot, such as I gave it mean distribution of values. Then PCH is the type of shape we would like to use, such as there are two type of PCH like 10 and 15. So on 10 we get a different shape, and on 15 we would get a different shape. So color codes for different colors, it could be red, blue, green, depending on your preference. So if we could interpret it, so basically if we can see the lowest value, we can see the mean distribution for lowest value is the 9 and 11, which goes for the challenging and doubtless. Whereas on the highest point, we would say 10 value has the highest mean for the policemen and the highest preference. 10th value is the self-understanding. So basically, self-understanding goes with the how I explore my needs, my drives, my passion for myself. Even a reason for high self-understanding could be the sample was senior police officers who just came back from the combat war. So that could be the reason for self-understanding being high. Then moving next to the bar plot, which I will be presenting in the next slide. But the coding for it could be bar plot bracket value $1 police comma name.r. So it is path oriented values. Then ylab representing again the y-axis, then main, heading, and then color. 2:4, it gives the different colors to the different bars. So there can be different codings such as 2:4, 3:5, depending on what colors like I would like to prefer or would like to prefer. So this is the index plot and the bar plot. So index plot is basically how the mean values are distributed or scattered across the value. So for what value, what mean values is corresponding. It is different from the scatter plot, as in scatter plot, there are two variables. So on two variables, so it basically represents the correlation. So it is similar to scatter plot as values are scattered, but not a scatter plot. It is the index plot, which I could understand. So these are the then it's a bar plot. Then moving towards the mean distribution of the comparable group. So for like following the same procedure, then after it, I plotted the, I gave the coding plot, bracket value $1, comparable group, then YLR, mean distribution of values, PCH 15 and color green. Then similarly, bar plot was plotted. So if we could interpret this index plot, 8th value has the lowest preference. 8th value was a NISCOM principle in the common people, and the highest is the 6th value, which is the cleanliness. If we could relate, so cleanliness was also found high in policemen in path-oriented values, and even like emotional control is high. Emotional control was even high in policemen. So this is the comparable groups path-oriented distribution. So it is the index plot and the bar plot for the comparable group. So now we would like to find a correlation between the, like in path-oriented values, between the comparable group and the police group. So whether there was a correlation or not. So a Spearman rank correlation was computed. So based on the Spearman rank correlation, the various coding sets was done. So first of all, it is COR. So COR stands for the correlation. Then like value $1 police, value $1 comparable group. Like we are mentioning each group we would like to compare or like correlate with each other. Then method Spearman. A correlation of 0.73, a row value 0.73 was found. Then next coding is code.test, for which the p-value was found to be 0.003. So the Spearman correlation was found significant. So there was significant correlation between policemen and the common people in path-oriented values. So if we could study the path-oriented values and the mean of police value, comparable value difference, and the value difference square. If we can say the maximum value difference was found on the NISCOM principle, as we like studied, as we found in previous slide. NISCOM principle was the lowest for the comparable for the common people group or the comparable group, and so the difference was found to be 0.97. It's the highest difference. Whereas on the lowest side, the lowest difference is the challenging. So challenging is the lowest difference or the lowest value on which preference differ for both the groups. So now moving to the goal-oriented values. So basically similar coding was coded for this, like for goal oriented values. Basically, like just there was difference, as in like police, we replaced the mean values for path oriented values with the goal oriented values. Then goal oriented values, all goal oriented values were coded, such as peace, universalization, enlightenment, positive feeling, positive family security. Then these goal oriented values were stored. Then for the comparable group, again mean values were coded. Then data framing was done. Then index plot and bar plot was computed. So again, while I have the y-axis, main, PCH, and then in color, I chose blue. So here, if we could study it, the lowest preferable goal-oriented value in policemen was 12. So basically 12 lead to security. And highest is 5th, family security. Next, computing a correlation between both the groups, between police and the comparable groups. Now, after computing the Spearman rank correlation, the rho value was found to be 0.27 and the p value was 0.34, which was not significant. So basically on goal oriented values, both the groups did not have significant correlation. So and this is the like data set which gave the mean for police, the mean for comparable group, value difference, and the value difference square for each. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidhi. Very nicely you have covered. Many things you have covered. Very good, very good. Now it is over to our chairperson. Professor Parijat, please.
Yeah, it was very nice presentation, and I learned many things from this. And the way you have presented this path values and goal-oriented values, that is something very different, but it is very nicely put up. What I observed of this presentation is, when we are doing research, there are many judgmental things come in, and the research, mainly focuses on the empirical fact finding. Here, because of this path-oriented and goal-oriented definition already done by Dr. Roy and his colleague earlier into this, by this Ravindra K values, it gives a very great direction to your findings, because you could identify which values are important, which are not important, or aligned or correlated to whatever you are trying to find out. That was very fantastic. Sir, I happen to teach business ethics and corporate governance for last 5 years.
That's nice. Yeah.
So I know these values things, but for me also, when it becomes a big list of values, there are a lot of contradictions that come in the mind of student also and people who are learning. For example, a student of banking who is learning these values and ethics, the problem for him is that he has to work on a system. Like here, police take systemic training, and they might alter their goal-oriented, values and path-oriented values a bit for becoming their to find out their own happiness like that. So like that, when you are learning something towards your career or something, empirically sorting out the things of values was very difficult. But this particular work, what Vidhi has done, it clearly shows which is which, what is what. Especially that index mapping versus the values was very good. I can say that, like sir had suggested me, even better infographics could have been used to make us understand and make it more lively like that. let me tell you, but actually, the most surprising revelation I had was that police has more clarity. That is what your 9 and 8 thing is telling, clarity of what they are going to do or what they want to do. And people don't have, and that is why they are common people. So it is more of, ignorance of many things, especially existence of democratic system, existence of police as a part of governing system like that. People around will have some such differences or, irrelevances or insignificant things around. But very nicely, this path and goal oriented listing and, the approach has survived the purpose. I feel that you have a lot of future in this, especially now. I don't know, but I think sir must be knowing. Post pandemic, particularly, common people's behavior and orientation towards goal is totally changed. That is my observation. And police and others, if you say, I see that police have become more kind. They started singing during pandemic. I am seeing a very different change. So this is again just an observation and a judgmental interpretation, nothing to do with the facts. But I feel very happy to be the chairperson and express my views on your work. I want to tell you something. You mentioned that you were working with a clinical, this thing, you are a clinical psychologist. Let me tell you, I have been working with many people here around me also. Yesterday also I met a boy who has started holding a board in the hand and stands on the road saying that I'm not a therapist, but if you want to tell me something, tell me. This type of movement has started. So before clinically something gets identified and confirmed, if we could reach to the society before it gets too late like that with your study or research, I think your direction of studies as well as your contribution towards all that you have been aspiring in your career would be more meaningful. Forgive me if I have crossed the limits because I'm from management stream and I'm okay with my statistics and mathematics, but not like Dr. Roy, to whom I always believe to be my idol, and iconic personality who can very fast connect behavior with numbers. That really is very difficult for me to understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Very nicely you encourage my students. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Vidhi,
Yes, sir.
now it is the question answer session. So,
Yes.
you have noticed that there are 14 values in Ravindrik.
Yes, sir.
And in case of the Rokia, there are 18 values. Okay. And have you observed any difference between the Ravindrik values and the Rokia values? Have you observed any difference there? Or whether they are same?
Sir, some values are similar, such as in peace is a similar value from Rocket, and difference. Difference. I couldn't find any other similar values, sir.
You don't find? What is the first, path? What is the first value of the path-oriented Ravindrik values? Whether this is available in Rokia model? It is not there, right?
No, sir. Couldn't find
Okay.
it.
And do you find any other cleanliness? Is it there?
Yeah.
And resolute, Nishkam principle?
No, sir. The cleanliness is there.
Okay, just check whether cleanliness is there or not. Okay. And the Nishkam principle?
No, sir.
Okay. And resolute? That
No,
is also
sir.
not there. Okay. So you will find that is there are some values
Hmm.
which are available in Rabindra Sangeet. Okay.
Hmm.
This path orientation of Ravindric values, that is some unique features are there. Now, can you tell me that is why these unique features are available in case of Ravindric human values, this path-oriented value, but not in this value?
Hmm. So maybe the purpose for which the sir, sorry, but I'm not. I am not much aware about the Rabindra Sangeet, but just taking a guess. So first of all, in the era it was developed, that played a major role, and even like for the Indian wars and to motivate such uh, during wars. So it was used. Maybe that had an important impact on it. Uh, maybe the culture. So just I guess.
It
No,
is mentioned there. It is mentioned in your presentation.
you have mentioned.
Yeah, 19 December 1920, and it was recited in 1930 in Shantiniketan.
Sir, that mentioned like maybe the era in it developed.
Yeah.
That was the reason.
And another thing that is Rabindranath Tagore, if you study his song, then you will find that is he observed the principles of nature. Okay. And he projected the principles of nature on his song. But that is not available in case of the Rockya model, because Rockya, he follows different model that is not the projection of the nature's principle. Principles of nature, that is vital, because we are guided by the principles of nature. Okay, and when Rabindranath Tagore, he observed carefully, that is movement of leaves, okay, the dew drops, and he observed carefully the droplets on the pond, okay, on the water. He observed carefully the movement, specifically the movement. He observed the waves in our consciousness, and he projected the principles of nature on the human. And whatever the songs you will find, everywhere you will find the principles of nature is there. Okay, so that is the vital part of his song. And another thing, that is these values that were developed out of the famous Rabindra Sangeet, especially the songs which were used by our freedom fighters during the freedom of independence. Okay, therefore, whatever the values you have noted, I think Farah can tell something about the Shankochero Vivalata, na? Or Farah, have you?
Yes, sir. About the song, I just said, sir, I got it from Google actually.
Oh, that's
So,
good.
yes, sir. Sir, can I share my screen?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So,
Even sir, I would like to add one point to it.
Sure, sure.
So these values are also based on represent the Eastern perspective as well, such as the Niskam principle is quite in our Eastern perspective, which is that's why it is missing in the rocket value survey or the self awakening. Like our roots are quite into these values, maybe just trying to explore things.
Vidhi, you are almost correct. That is some maybe the Eastern, but actually this is the self-awakening. That is the universal values. Self-awakening, that is the universal values. Nishkam also universal value.
Yes, sir.
So whatever Tagore's values, that is basically the
all
universal.
These are universal.
These are the universal values because it follows the principles of nature. To look at the movement of petals, okay, of flower, then we will find that is how the petals are gradually spreading. So that is the self-awakening. Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
So just you think about the lotus, you can think about the rose, okay, and they are gradually, the petals are gradually moving, slowly they are moving, okay, and they are spreading, and there you can find out the aesthetic beauty. Okay, so that is basically the self-awakening. So whenever we will be any sort of trouble, it is universal values. When we will be in any sort of trouble, when there is no one in front of me, we do not have anything. At that time, our self says us, you can.
Yes, sir. Like this song says, don't give yourself a difficult identity in difficult work.
Wow, beautiful. Okay, now Farah, please.
Yes, sir. So the background of Rabindranath values is like this song, like Vidhi said, it was written between 16th and 19th December 1929. So this is like in brief, a successful presentation of Nobin at Shanti Niketan as a part of Dol Purnima celebration in 1930. Dol Purnima is Holi celebration. Had promoted to stage it once again at Kolkata. And in that exhibition there was an exhibition of Japanese martial arts along with the program. So on 16th of March 1931, it was exhibited by Takagaki. Takagaki is the master from Japan, and he was there with his students in Shanti Niketan. So this song was composed for the occasion by Rabindranath Tagore. So Nobin was enacted at New Empire for following 4 days from 17th to 20th March. Now the New Arms Act had prohibited Indian people to possess any kind of arms, not even a stick. So Rabindranath was pleased to see the art of unarmed combat while his visit to Japan. He had made a contract and hence Takagaki had joined Shanti Niketan in November 1929 as the teacher of the art. So the amount of his interest can be assessed from the fact that he had spent 14,000 rupees in 2 years on this account. However, he has ended because he could not inspire the middle class youth and bashful young ladies of Bengal to learn the technique. So the routine had been discontinued soon after Takagaki had returned to his country. So there is a translation. So on that, for them, they have Rabindranath Tagore has written this song about the Sankocha Vivrata. So this is the Bengali version. This is the translation of that, like the Bengali version, and this is the English translation of that song. The embarrassment of shyness is self-inflicted. Don't imagine the crisis, Mariamman. Free yourself from fear. Take power within yourself. Conquer yourself. protect the weak, attack the wicked, don't know how to help yourself, free yourself from fear. Don't rely on self-doubt. Religion will call you when Sankar. Be quiet and humble and live your life. Free yourself from fear. Don't give yourself a difficult identity in difficult world. So this is about the song. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for illustration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So overall, to sum up, sir. Sir, please sum up. To sum up, that is Rabindric human values, or the Rabindric values, are not similar to the values written by or conceptualized by Rokia and Squatch, because of two reasons. One side, that is Rabindric human values are basically the universal in nature. And the second one, Rabindric human values are based upon the principles of nature. Number one. Number two, Rabindric human values can be hierarchically structured. It is a hierarchical system. Now here, our student Bidhi Khanna, she analyzed herself by using the hierarchical structure of path and goal-oriented values. And finally, she had shown some empirical data related to how far the Rabindric values are convergent and divergent with the values of the Polish person with the values of common people. She had shown the rank order correlation coefficient between the values of Polish person and the common people with respect to path and goal-oriented values. So thank you, Professor Rajendra Parijat, for chairing the session. Thank you, Farah Ahmed, for managing the session. And thank you, Ms. Bidhi Khanna, to present the paper. Now I am requesting you to close your hands for the closing prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, all of you. Thank you.
In time we have
Thank you,
completed.
sir.
Thank you, Vidhi. Thank you, Farah.
Thank
Keep
you,
it
sir.
up, Vidhi.
Thank
You are
you.
doing great work under the guidance of Dr. Roy. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.